Axie Infinity. So Axie Infinity is obviously one of the most popular crypto games. 2021 was an incredible year for Axie, particularly as they saw this huge surge in users. They are nowhere close to the user base that they used to have. So I do want to take a look at potentially how this is going to do this year, because price has been pretty weak so far. We'll also take a look at really activity on the network right now. Have a look at the marketplace, see what's going on there, see if we can gauge and understand like an idea of how many people are really using it right now and what value it can reach in this bull cycle. Before I get into it though, guys, if you're new here and you don't know what the spreadsheet is, it shows the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel. Now, in the videos, I showed myself buying up all of these cryptos. They were coins that I expected were going to make me a lot of money. You can see what they were worth when I recorded the videos. These are the highs that these coins hit around 15, 16 months on. These are what your profits would have been if you'd have put $100 into the coins when I released the videos, sat on them for 15, 16 months and then sold them. Your total profit in under a year and a half would have been over 123 grand. Now, guys, you don't have a year and a half to sort your portfolios out. You don't even have a couple of months. We're in a bull cycle right now. And if you're not happy or confident with the cryptos you own, do something about it as soon as possible, because these markets are going to rip soon. And when that happens, if you're holding the wrong coins, you're not going to make any money. Now, if that's you, get onto copymycrypto.com. Just have a look at the site. On there, you'll see what my members have earned. You can see the successes we've had. You can read their testimonials. You can verify absolutely everything that you read and you see on the site. And if you like what you see, guys, try out the service, because you've got nothing to lose before these markets start ripping. Now, Axie Infinity, as you can see, obviously had an incredible bull cycle. You know, hit $165. And when it launched, you know, it was like, it actually launched at like 18 cents. So it nearly did 1,000x from launch, right? Did very, 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 very well. It's a game. It's a play to earn game. You know, it's inspired by your sort of Pokemons, your Tamagotchis. Basically, people collect, breed, raise, battle, and trade these token-based creatures known as Axies. They obviously come in tons of different iterations, because you've got different body parts, different types of creatures, different like rarity scales. Obviously, the rarer, the more expensive, the more valuable your Axie would be. It's an NFT with different attributes and strengths that can be entered into battles and experience points, etc. The founders are it's created by Sky Mavis, which is a tech focused game developer. It was co-founded by Trung Nguyen and Alexander Larson. And since being up and running, they have experienced an enormous surge in terms of user base. Like, they had unbelievable growth. I remember doing a video about them when they had 10,000 users per month, and they were about $1. And over the course of the next 5-6 months, their user base doubled and doubled and doubled. It had like this parabolic rise, which shockingly coincided with the price having a parabolic rise. This is why when I look at crypto games, I often say the same thing, which is the game, like the developers and the team should be focused on getting users, not worrying about promotion of price or worrying about exposure. Get users. That's always got to be the goal. This is the live statistics for Axie. Now, again, how accurate it is always an interesting question. But online players right now, in the last hour, apparently 29,500. In the last 30 days, 28,300. This is down around 18,000 from the previous month. Twitch watched hours, 35,000. So people are watching, a lot of people playing this game. Monthly active count, as you can see, you know, in 2021, when we really were in the bull cycle, the monthly active users was in the millions. Now, we are nowhere close to that now. We are nowhere close to that, averaging 300,000. So it's about a sixth of what the user base was previously. And, you know, at peak, they had about 2.8, just shy of 2.8 million users in a month. So hugely down from that as well. Now, marketplace-wise, so that obviously gives us some insight, right? Because, user base is effectively, what's that, like a ninth of their previous user base. So even if we go for the premise of the price, like a price correlation, so their peak was around $165. A ninth of that would bring us down to around $30 or $33. So if that is a direct correlation, which of course it isn't, but if that was to be a direct correlation, we would look at this and go, this is about 6 times undervalued right now. In terms of marketplace, now, why is that doing that? Let's go with lands. Let's go with Axies first. So volume in the last 24 hours, we're looking at 15 Ethereum. So the 30 grand has been spent on Axies. If we check out lands, volume in the last 24 hours has been 5 Ethereum. So again, you're looking at over 10 grand. Accessories, like not even worth looking at. Land items, part of an ETH. Bundles, yeah. So I'm kind of imagining bundles are going to be bought too much. Runes, yeah, not worth looking at. Charms, yeah, not worth looking at. So overall, Axies is where most people are spending their cash. 15 ETH in the past 24 hours. Obviously, that's not bad. That is not bad. That's over 30 grand. I mean, ETH is what, 2,600 or so at the moment. So yeah, not too bad. That's roughly 39 grand. So doing some okay volume. Again, user base, 30,000 users in the day, roughly 300,000 across the month. How undervalued is this? That's a question. Is it even undervalued? Now, one thing we're going to have to see is, can they bring in users? Fundamentally, look, Axie is on every significant exchange, so it isn't going to get a listing bounce. Their biggest job right now is to get people to play it once again. So that's going to require, obviously, a focused marketing approach from the team, where they are trying to get as many people playing as possible. You can see that there is certainly some form of correlation between user base growth and price growth. Now, it's always going to be an interesting question of how tight of a correlation is that? What kind of analysis could you do? Could the Pearson correlation coefficient work? No, probably not, right? But just from the simple premise of where Axie is right now, it does appear to be undervalued based on current user base, right? Does look like it should get to $30. What can it hit in an ideal scenario? That is going to be entirely based upon how well they market, how well they advertise, how well they get new people to play the game. They basically have to try and get back to what they were previously, which was a few million users per month. Naturally, during a bull cycle, we'll see people coming into Axie and using it. So paying attention to the user base growth month on month is always important. If you start seeing that is in an uptrend, even if it's 50% month on month on month on month, then all of a sudden you've got an idea of you can project what it's going to be late, in November, December, January, and so on. And then potentially you can use that as a projection for possible price action. Again, it's not a direct correlation, so you can't use it that well. But what I would want to see if I was an Axie holder, which I'm not, but if I was, I would want to see a heavy-duty marketing campaign, getting all these massive gaming YouTubers to play Axie, getting their audience to be interested in Axie and play it as well. That could experience significant growth. From there, if the natural flow of a bull cycle begins along with a user base surge, could this get back to $100? It is possible. I think it looks very, very unlikely right now. But again, it's going to go down to how well this team advertise and market. So I'd be watching closely for their strategy there, what their approach, and how consistent their success is on any marketing approach that they try. There is potential. There is absolutely potential for this to maybe get back to triple digits, maybe get back to $100. But right now, I do think it's unlikely. Where I'm looking at it based on user base, if the user base stays the same, if there's no significant growth whatsoever, I still think this will probably hit $30 or so, maybe 40 or 50 at a peak. But all in all, the success is going to entirely depend on strategy in terms of getting new users. That's the big thing. So let's see. I've not seen tons from them in that regard, so I don't have a particular opinion on how well they market and advertise. But if anyone's seen anything in terms of how they market and advertise, share like what you've seen them do in the comments, because then it gives us all an idea of how well they might be able to do in the future. And guys, look, we are in a bull cycle right now. If you're not confident with the cryptos you own, you've got to do something about it as soon as possible. Get onto copymycrypto.com, have a look through the site. That's the site I run where I share my entire portfolio with my members. Whenever I'm ready to buy or sell any crypto, I will tell my members the crypto that I'm going to buy or sell, the price I'm going to do it at. My members can copy along exactly, so they'll make the same profit as me, but they don't have any work to do at all. And on the site, you can see what they've earned, you can read their testimonials, you can see our successes, you can also verify everything online, it's all public record. And if you like what you see, guys, try out the service. You've got nothing to lose, everything to gain before these markets start ripping. Because once again, if you're not confident in the cryptos you own, it is probably because they are not going to make you any cash at all. So check out the site, and if you like what you see, guys, try it out, and I'll see you there. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.